Hello, my name is Ethan Kosak, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about basic cartooning in Corel Painter. This tutorial will probably also work fine if you're going to use Photoshop or Pixelmator or something like that. We're really just going to be talking about how to set up layers and how to do some basic cartooning. So I'm going to go ahead and create my document here. I already have this all queued up. I'm just doing a 11 by 8.5 at 300 DPI. Okay, and now first thing with Painter is that you have a canvas that's locked, and I'm going to go ahead and make this canvas a neutral color. So come over here and make that sort of a cool gray, and use my paint bucket tool here to fill that in. And I'm going to add a new layer and make my primary color black and choose my brush tool. And now I'm using a Wacom tablet, which makes life a lot easier when you're trying to do this kind of thing. If actually some of the things we're going to talk about, if you wanted to do them on just a piece of paper and with a pencil, that's fine too. I mean, the reason that I use a tablet with something like this mostly is going to be to get the right kind of line quality. But for right now, we're just going to be sketching, so I'm not concerned about line quality yet. The first thing I would do in designing a character is look at or think about where the gravity, the center of gravity for that character is going to be, and roughly how many heads tall I want this character to be. A typical cartoon character is somewhere between 3 and 4 heads tall, so not at all like a normal human being. Even if this isn't the right shape for what you're doing, you may want to just begin with sort of a bean type shape, because this is really easy to build off of, and sort of build in some guides there for how it's going to fall together. So I do the body, and then I'll put in the head and the legs. And then I'll draw in some arms. And you want to keep everything really loose to begin with. Don't go into too much detail. Alright, so if I do that as my initial sort of sketch layer, I can then actually take down the opacity of that layer and add another layer to this. And then I'm going to go in here and I'm going to actually sort of start doing something a little more detailed. Because I have a guide to work off of. Okay, and I'm going to add another layer, and this one I'm going to actually drag beneath the layer I just did. And I don't want a calligraphy type pen, so I'm going to choose like a chalk or something that lets me do a solid color. And I'm going to go in here and I'm going to start actually adding in a little bit of this color here. Like that. that. Let's turn up the opacity on that a little bit. Okay. And, you know, if you're worried about staying in the lines, you tend to sort of draw with the sort of obsessive compulsive feeling, and you want to try to break that habit. So I would be more concerned about just sort of laying the design down sort of slapdash like I did with that first layer, and then you go in and you do this sort of cramped, detail-oriented work. You always kind of try to work from very general to very specific. Alright, so that's approaching pretty good. I'm hiding the first layer there. And I'm going to add another layer, but still keep it beneath my outline layer. So I can come in here and sort of work on sort of adding a little more tone, a little more shading to my design. Okay. I'm going to keep a highlight there. That looks pretty good. Okay. So thanks, and next time we're going to talk maybe a little bit more about how to pose a character for action, and maybe a little more realistic type rendering. Okay, thanks for tuning in, and more next time. Bye.